In July of 1924, the Cabochon provincial chapter, where we have elections and decisions are made for the province, it was decided that Father Solanus should be transferred from Our Lady of the Angels in Haarlem to St. Bonaventure's. It was quite a change. Solanus had been at Queen of Angels for 3 years, and 3 years before that at Our Lady of Sorrows, and for 14 years before that at Sacred Heart in Yonkers. That is where he began his priestly ministry after ordination in Milwaukee and his first Mass in Appleton. So 20 years in New York, and he loved it. He always found it difficult and easy to be transferred. Difficult in the sense that every place he left, he had enjoyed, but easy because this is what God wanted, and he would be ready within a day to make that transfer. So he arrived here on August 1st, 1924, and he was given the job of being assistant to the brother porter. Most priests would have found something like that very demeaning. Not only that you're doing a brother's work, like being a porter, but being an assistant to the brother who is the main porter. Well, that never entered Solanus's mind. It was perfectly fine. These are the doors that people have come in for generations. And these were the doors that opened up to the office that Brother Francis Spruck was basically in charge of. And not too many people came in those days. This is obviously renovated, but this would be very spacious on both sides. On this side, there was the provincial tailor shop, and on this side, there was the office. And because so few people came every day, Brother Francis was really in charge of both. He was the provincial tailor and he was the porter. So, literally within weeks of Solanus's coming here, there were so many people coming that they soon had to expand this side and make the office larger, putting chairs all around the sides, and Solanus's desk there toward the edge of that. Dozens and dozens of people would be coming, and they would wait for hours, much of the time, because Solanus would take so much time listening to, taking care of the people who were right in front of him. Nobody got angry at having to wait this long. And when they were asked, why aren't they angry at having to have such a long spell, they said, because he'll look at us and listen to us in the same way that he's looking at that man or that woman, and we can wait. And they did. And it wasn't always to the happiness of Brother Francis Spruck, but he got used to it. And you know, the notebooks that Father Benno had asked Father Solanus to take to record, he asked him that at Queen of Angels because of these reported happenings after Father Solanus was asked to pray. Well, those notebooks got filled in more and more quickly when he came to Detroit. And we still have all of them. And within a short time, one of the friars, who is Father Herman, he and Solanus ended up having kind of a deal. You see, when people came to Solanus like that, even though he did not have the faculties to hear confessions and to preach publicly, obviously, at times, people poured out their lives, and it was a confession. However, Solanus wasn't able to give absolution. So he would tell the people, after having talked to Father Herman, well, okay, what I'm going to do now, you have opened up your heart, you need to go to church now to confession. And I'm going to call Father Herman and tell him that you're coming. And you just give a resume to Father Herman of what you've told the Lord through me, and he'll give you absolution. So that is what happened many times. He and Father Herman were confession partners. Father Herman became another kind of a partner before too long, because within 5 years of Solanus's coming here was the October 29th, 1929 stock market crash. People had come here and also to all of our Capuchin friaries for food and meals, people who were down and out. But the numbers in Detroit, being an automobile manufacturing place, industry, the numbers skyrocketed almost immediately. And the friars, Solanus, Brother Francis, could not take care of the numbers that were coming. And very soon, Father Herman, who was also in charge of the secular Franciscans, the Third Order, came to the rescue with his lay people, and they transformed their Third Order Hall, which was right next to the church here at St. Bonaventure's, into a soup kitchen. And from that time on, November of 1929, the Capuchins have been serving people in the soup kitchen. And Solanus, who really was not a founder, but was always right there supporting and helping, became, when he had free time, that is where he would go to serve the people himself. And many times the people that would come to him asking for prayers, you know, he would often, practically always, ask some kind of gesture of reaching out in love for the poor and the needy of those who were coming with their own need. Don't get stuck in that. Can you be aware of the need of other people besides your own? And so many times he would ask people to contribute to the soup kitchen, whether it was the mayor or ordinary people. And that mushroomed so much so that 3,000 people in those early days, 3,000 people a day were being served a very hearty meal. in addition to that hearty meal, I'd like to share a story of, that was told me by the man who was, even in those early days, the director of the soup kitchen, and for many years. His name was Ray McDonough. Well, when I came to the order in 1956, he was still the director. And he told me this story that one day he knew that people came not just for the food, but they would give out, the soup kitchen would give out bread all day long, and it would usually, there'd be a line from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock when it was closed, nonstop. Well, he knew as a director on this particular day, early in the Depression, that there was no truck that was coming with extra bread. And at 10:30, he realized there were only 27 loaves of bread, and it would never last the nonstop line. So he said, well, let's go over to the monastery right here and ask Father Solanus to come and bless the bread. So they did. And you remember that Father Solanus had diphtheria at the same time that his sisters died from it, and it left him with a high-pitched voice. And so when Ray came over to ask Solanus to come to the soup kitchen and bless the bread, Solanus said in his high-pitched voice and with his simple, absolutely complete faith, I don't have to go over to the soup kitchen to bless the bread. I can bless the bread from here. And so he blessed the bread from there, from here. And Ray went back to the soup kitchen, and I will never forget how he said, and I will swear on a stack of Bibles that there was no truck that came in throughout the day to bring more bread, and that there was a nonstop line of people until 4 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock we had 27 loaves of bread left. There are many, many stories like that of not just what happened in the soup kitchen, but what happened in this office with people coming with their burdens, physical and spiritual, and having them lifted by being with Solanus and knowing his love and his closeness to God and his prayers. This went on for 21 years, and he would have most often 18-hour days. The lines just never stopped coming. And it was finally, after 21 years of giving to the people of Detroit, that the superiors realized this man is now 75 or 76. He has to have a break. And it was at that time that the superiors decided to transfer Father Solanus again, this time, first of all, to St. Michael's in Brooklyn, but that didn't work for real quiet for very long. And then after only 9 months, he was taken to our novitiate in Huntington, St. Felix Friary in Huntington. But these were the 21 years in Detroit, and undoubtedly the richest and most memorable. And even to this day, there are stories that people will bring you about my mother or my grandmother. This is what happened to her or to my grandfather. The memory of Solanus, those 21 years here at St. Bonaventure in this office, and what he came to mean to the people is still very much alive.